TikTok is an insufferable place, and it's for that reason that I don't have it. However, I've noticed recently that perhaps there is a good side to it, you know? Perhaps the fact that so many people use it can make it, you know, a good instrument for research. Hey, it's Christine Grace. Welcome back to my channel. Today is another reaction video. Like the video on your way in. Let's get straight into it. So I was thinking about this, and I've seen a lot of TikTok videos. I react to a lot of TikTok compilations. Don't use TikTok myself, but people send me them. Like, I still kind of know what goes on over there. And I thought it was really interesting thinking about the plethora of videos that I've seen and, you know, the different perspectives and stuff. It is quite interesting because we get to hear different perspectives from people and also like different windows into different aspects of life. So, you know, I find it quite interesting as a tool to study human behavior, because people are unbelievably raw and unfiltered on TikTok. It's like TikTok is the new alcohol. It used to be that you could give someone a drink and their inhibitions would go and, you know, they'd kind of start to reveal themselves. Whereas now it's just like, just get them in on a TikTok video, especially if they're a woman. That being said, let's check out today's video.
So I was just going on TikTok, right? And then I saw my girl pop up on one of those somebody in the car videos with all of her single friends. Tell me why one of her friends says somebody in the car gets it out every weekend while they have a loving man at home when staring at a blank screen for 3 hours.
Flashback.
Somebody in this car got beat down by 3 different in the same week. Somebody in this car got a whole air mattress to sleep with in the car. Somebody in this car's baby daddy ain't got no car. In 2026. Somebody in this car is in a relationship and still getting down. Somebody in this car needs to stop being the janitor at her job.
How do you know if your woman's a red flag? Just let them talk, bro.
Can you imagine? Can you absolutely imagine? It's like women will just reveal themselves. Like, we can't help it. We have so much going on in our brains that we have to speak to let it out. So it's like, if you just let us talk long enough, we will tell you everything you need to know.
They expose themselves just by talking.
We make Olympic sports out of it. These whole somebody in the car videos, like, that is literally just women taking L's and outwardly proclaiming it.
Be the most open-minded person ever. Enter your research mode, your listening mode, and you will find out the most diabolical ever.
We already know that they tell on themselves if you let them talk for long enough. But I never imagined they would make a trend out of it. But then again, can we really be surprised, considering that many of them have no shame about anything that they do?
This is what happens when you tell women that they are perfect. This is what happens when you tell women they can do no wrong. This is what happens when you create a society that raises men to worship women. This is what happens when you tell women that no matter what they've been through, they're always a victim. You eradicate shame. Women never change. They make terrible life choices. They relish in those terrible life choices. They don't learn anything. They go around causing havoc and chaos. And ultimately, the world becomes hell on earth. Welcome to 2026.
But doing OnlyFans is some pretty low IQ behavior.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but when it comes to women, men should really just shut the up.
Are you serious?
Aren't you a dude?
I didn't think my haters look like this. The stereotypes are so real. Goodness, this is freaking awesome.
The next time a girl asks you to meet up with her and her friends at the bar,
she wants you to pay for their drinks. She actually wanted to get to know you. It wouldn't be with her friends or at the bar.
Instead, stay home and gouge your eyes out, because you'll have just as much fun, and you won't have to deal with getting judged by a bunch of demonic drunk women. And they always...
There is nothing more unattractive than a drunk woman. Even drunk men, just drunk people is unbelievably unattractive.
Ask the same question. How do we know you're good enough for our friends? Well, she hangs out with a bunch of gremlins like you, so obviously she has very low standards. And it's always the least attractive one that thinks she's the foreman of the jury. Hey lady, you're only here to make your friends look prettier. You don't get to have an opinion. Why don't you get off my case and let me strike out on my own?
Sorry,
brutal, but true.
I just got broken up with.
Oh, what you do?
I guess I quote unquote cheated on her.
Did you cheat on him?
She finds it funny.
No.
Are you
It was a
lying?
miscommunication. It was a miscommunication. But he don't put his trust in again, I guess.
Are you sure? What was the situation?
I requested a call from somebody in jail. So I guess he didn't like that and he said I cheated on him. So.
Where are all the good men? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Where are all the good men? But yeah, I can have a good man and I'm still gonna call a guy in jail.
Who would you request a call for?
My ex.
Where are all the good men? But I don't want good men. I want a guy who's in jail.
So why did you do that?
She knows it's wrong, that's why she's smiling.
Because I wanted to. Simple as that.
So you did what you wanted to and now you reap the consequences of that. Simple as.
Yeah, and that's why he broke up with you. You deserve that. Why the f are you calling your ex for?
That is what you are. Now, we're going to get a little Freudian here, but the reason she's smiling at him calling her all of those names is because she knows and she likes it. She clearly doesn't respect herself. That's why she's calling her ex, who's in jail. How can you be a self-respecting woman and subject yourself to calling your ex in jail whilst you have a boyfriend? Ew, what does that say about you? She likes that. She doesn't have any respect for herself. That's why she likes it when he disrespects her. She's into it. Her whole thing is disrespecting herself. And that explains all of her behavior.
They don't consider it cheating, because if they did, that would require them to admit they were wrong, and we know how that goes. However, they aren't oblivious to what they're doing. Women like this simply do not care.
Yep, acts like one, gets called one. But you see, the expression on her face at the bottom is not horror nor disagreement. She knows she's one. And she's excited by the fact that someone's actually been brave enough to call her it.
Avoid people like this at all cost for your own sake.
I heard someone say today, why don't we let the men do Christmas? All of it. The shopping, the buying, the wrapping, the cooking, the cleaning.
Because it won't get done because men don't care about that stuff. They just go along with it because they know how much it means to us. Isn't that nice? If only women were able to go along with things for the sake of it's something a man enjoys. But we can't because we're almost incapable of thinking about anything that a man cares about. Because we don't care. Men do care. So who really is the more empathetic sex, huh, ladies?
The baking. Let them do it. And then we will all collectively see why they should no longer, after 250 years, still be running the country.
But how mentally stunted do you have to be to say something like this?
Woman's world, and it would...
Let's let women start running the world. Look at the state of the world since we've done that. Let's let women run our companies. Are you getting it yet?
Fall apart without us.
Are you serious? Did you compare cooking, cleaning, wrapping presents to running a country?
They don't get it. They just don't get it. They're completely asleep.
I'm flabbergasted at the amount of women that agreed with this take. Now, I'm not
It's unbelievably juvenile and stupid.
going to take anything away from women that stay-at-home moms or whatever. I would never say what you do is unimportant or it's not, at times can be hard. But
But that's what needs to be cherished. It's the staying home and the raising of children that men are willing to go out and work for. They're providing for us.
Let's just be serious. Let's be for real for once. If you was to trade the life with a man and a man was to trade the life with you, I guarantee the man will be living in nirvana. You feel me? You try to work 12 hours to 15 hours every single day, 7 days a week, no breaks. And let's see, and you do that for a couple months and let the man stay at home and just cook, clean, and watch the kids. And I guarantee that man will be chilling, kicking back. You feel me? This is a dumb thing. We gotta do better. This is dumb. No bull.
Like we're making fun of each other?
Yeah, we're roasting each other. It'll be fun. Okay, I go first. It's the stomach for
This isn't gonna end well.
me.
What if I don't have anything? I don't have anything.
Anything. It's that beard for me.
Wow. Wow. Hold on. I can't think of anything.
You're making this
He knows it's a trap.
so boring. It's the shades for me. Need an upgrade.
I can't think of anything.
You just say anything. The
Like
feet
what?
for me. Say
Stop.
anything.
Hold on, I don't know what to say.
Just
Hold on.
roast me. You're supposed to roast me.
Anything?
That's how the game is. You roast me.
It's the white hair for me. Like that? Babe, like that?
Yeah, something.
What's wrong? Like that? Did I do it right?
Some women really need to be taught. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Movie hat.
I was eavesdropping one time on these two men running into each other in the gym as I was waiting for my elevator to leave. I feel like this conversation literally is just men in a nutshell. And I'm only eavesdropping because we're all waiting for the elevator. It's these two guys and they're like, hey man, oh my gosh, haven't seen you in a while. How's it been? And the one is like, oh, like good. And then the second one is like, good too, you know, wife just had a baby. And the other one goes, oh my gosh, no way. Like, congrats, man. And the other one goes, thank you, thank you. And then the other guy goes, boy or girl? He goes, girl. And then the other one goes, actually, my wife just had a baby too. And then that guy goes, boy or girl? And the guy goes, boy. And they're like, congrats, man, congrats. Convo over. And it just made me laugh because with girls, there's so many follow-up questions. There's like, oh my gosh, like, it's you're announcing it right away. You're saying the name. You're like, oh my gosh, the birth. There's like all these, like, I could think of at least 10 questions to ask if someone were to just tell me they had a baby. These guys are kind of just like, boy, girl, done.
Yeah. Like, because they're different. It's just they're not that interested. They're just happy for each other. And that is the extent of the conversation.
And then they want to be talking about, oh, I pay my own bills. Like, bitch, they're yours for you to pay. Like, they're your bills. You have to take responsibility out of that. No. Somebody else gonna pay for your bills? You got to.
Honestly, it's absolutely ridiculous. I always hate this. You know, I hate all of this stuff in the modern age where it's like, I do this for myself. I do that for myself. I work a job. It's like, duh. Like, you guys did the whole feminism thing. Like, you doing that isn't an achievement because you can do what a man can do. Start providing for a stay-at-home husband. Say, I pay my own bills and I provide for my husband and my kids. Then we can start congratulating you. But isn't that funny? Even that, I'm like, oh, then we can start congratulating you. When have men ever got the congrats for it? Crazy.
Something, you never helped me around the house. Like, when I be doing stuff around the house, you never help me.
You know something? You never helped me with a bill. Like a grocery bill, a car note, rent. Like, I don't think you never seen a bill. Do you know what a bill feel like? Like, no, like to like not to pay it, but like to pick it up.
No, I wasn't saying like you don't be helping me around the house. I was saying like you ain't helping me find stuff to do around the house. Like, what?
Okay.
Like, it's more like...
Correct answer. I like the self-recognition.
It's some laundry.
There's some laundry.
Whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking. I was just trying to...
Okay. I misread that.
Yeah. You good.
Y'all know what I find very strange? Being a woman and depending on your man to pay for every single thing while you have a job and you just keeping your money. Meanwhile, he's trying to build a future for himself too while you just keep your money and just work and do whatever and not pay for anything. I find that very, very strange. Like, the man has to pay for every single thing that you do. You just keep your money, but then you expect him to build up the household by himself. Like I'm still trying to get in the wraps of that, like, that theory that y'all got going on. Like,
I saw this post, she's showing off a bunch of gifts that she got, and it's all from a guy that she's not even dating, crying, laughing emojis. And in the comments, as you can imagine, it's like, oh yeah, this is the standard, da-da-da. Fellas, let me talk to you real quick. No matter who you are, no matter who you're talking to, I want you to imagine, okay, that this young lady made this post about you? How would you feel if you spent legal tender on gifts for this woman and she said, I'm not even dating this guy? And now a guy like me is laughing at the concept of you existing. And even worse, I gotta tell you something. She's posting this on the internet. Imagine what she's telling people in real life. There's this girl, I was linking with her last night, right? And dude, I went crazy. Like, dude, the positions I was getting. Anyways, point is, I was sleeping with Shorty last night. And me and her were talking. There's this guy who wants her so bad. And she's like, just like kind of like keeping him around. Like, you know, being nice. But like, he's doing things for her. Like getting her gifts all the time. Like, oh, like you need this. You need help with this. I'll do this. Blah, blah, blah. And she's talking to me about bro. And I'm just like, man, that's crazy. He wishes he was me. I swear to God, I'd be saying it. I know it sounds like cartoonishly bad. But I'm just like, bro, like, this is like what he wants so bad, and he's putting in all this effort to try to get it, but he's not getting it. And you know why he's not getting it? Because she doesn't like him. What's that thing they say? If you don't, another man will. Well, let me tell you this. Another man won't have to. Okay? And he'll still be around. Okay? And I really like that line.
He's absolutely right. And this is the thing. It's like these women, they will, you know, keep you around, take all the gifts, take the dates, but then they'll still call their ex in jail. Like, you hear all these women say all this stuff, like, he's got to do this, he's got to do that, he's got to be six figure earner, you know, he needs to have his life together, go to the gym, be attractive, all this stuff. But the truth is like, when you really like a guy, none of that stuff matters. When you really like a guy, you will pay for him. You'll pay for him. And it's like, you expect any of us to have any respect for anything you say when you don't respect yourself enough to hold the standard.
I'm going to use it another time. It's going to come in handy. But you know what I mean? Like,
the thing is I'm not even saying like that's a bad thing. I mean, you know, going for people in jail, going for people who, you know, have no direction in life, like whatever. If that's your life choice, that's your life choice. But it's the fact that these same women will say things like, it's the standard. This is the standard, the bare minimum. It's like, no, you set the standard. You're the woman. What you allow in your life sets the standard. If you know, if you like someone who has nothing going for them, fine, go for them. But then don't come around and start saying that other women or you, when you're done with that person or he ran off, that you deserve better than that. No, you've set the standard. That's my thing. Go for who you want to go for. I'm not saying there's anything bad about going for people who are unemployed, this, that, and the other. You know, if you don't have that desire for material things or any kind of direction in life, like fine. If you just want to live carelessly, you know, and wildly, like fine. But accept that, you know, nothing else really matters. It's all about the person for you. Fine. It's when they then, after that person has probably left, they come around and they start saying that the material things matter and they need to provide. It's like, you don't actually care about that stuff. It's just that the person you actually want isn't around anymore. So you're like, okay, well, if someone does all of this stuff for me, then it's probably a good deal. It's just crazy.
Straight up, okay? So don't fall for the hoopla. Don't fall for the rigmarole.
The way that men treat women who are in their 40s as if somehow they're supposed to be like discarded by society is absolutely laughable. And I don't say all men.
What I find interesting about this, the same way a lot of y'all ladies in your 40s feel about men your age not prioritizing you when it comes to dating, is exactly how it was for those same men when they were in their early to mid 20s. When they were trying to date girls their age, y'all neglected them because they were too young, they were too immature, they didn't have enough experience, and they definitely didn't have enough money to date y'all. So what happened was, when girls were in their early to mid 20s, y'all were dating men in their 30s and their 40s. So those same men that y'all overlooked, they are now in their 40s and they worked on themselves. They're more mature, they have more experience, and they have more money. So they have more to offer. So now these men have options and they're deciding not to date you.
Obviously, because why would they? You're less attractive, you come with more baggage, your chances of having children are far less. It just makes sense. I've been thinking this recently, you know, as I get older. I look at couples, and most couples I know, the dude is probably a bit older. My mum and dad have got 8 years between them. I think my aunties and uncles, it's something similar. I think my cousins are probably a bit similar in ages to their husbands, but generally it's usually a slight age gap with the man being a bit older. I actually think that's the way it's supposed to be. Because, you know, a lot of men are quite immature under the age of 25, and they do need to go become a man, and that's just the nature of things. But it's like, we've become so deformed in our society now that these women, instead of finding a man who is mature when they are at the right age to have children, they expect the men to wait for them to go around the block a few times and party and go to college and all of this other stuff and build up a career. And then they expect the mature, well put together men to go for them because they prioritize their own egotistic desires over anything else. No, the world has to wait for me when I'm ready. That's not the case. Reality is reality. You have your highest sexual market value when you are a younger woman, when you are more youthful, when you are prettier, obviously, because you're more youthful and more fertile. But instead of using that time wisely to find the kind of mature man, which there's nothing wrong with wanting. There's nothing wrong with wanting a mature man who's already, kind of built himself up a bit, if not completely, but is on the path. Like, we are hypergamous. It's not a bad thing to acknowledge that. It's when the hypergamy gets overinflated to the point where women think that their value at 40 after the career, after the going around the block and after everything else, that they think they have the same value as the 22-year-old. And it's that level of almost like hypergamous delusion is where it gets problematic. The fact that you made the wrong choices in your early 20s and credit where credit's due, it is hard in the modern age to know, to find good female role models who will tell you this stuff, fair enough, but you still made those choices. You can't expect men to go for you when there are better options available. Not only that, those men have had to work for those better options. That's the thing. You want equality. You're all about equality and equity. Well, this is it. You want to be equal. Well, you have to understand that the men have worked just as hard as you. And, the men have worked harder than you. So they are entitled to, better women. And it is better. Of course, it's better to be with someone with less baggage. Of course, it's better to be with someone that can have more children if a large family is what you want. Of course, for Christ's sake, men are, physical beings. Of course, it's better to be with a hot 22-year-old than a slightly wrinkled, slightly grey 40-year-old. Like, I'm not saying anything new here. It's harsh. It's harsh how we age as women. Nature's a bitch. I don't know what to tell you. It just is the way it is. But I'm convinced that, there should be some kind of age gap in between men and women. I know you hear these lovely, high school sweetheart stories, and I'm not saying that they don't work at all, but just I think there's something to be said about the fact that men, in all civilizations tend to marry sort of late 20s, early 30s. And, up until modern history, women have married much, much younger. Even going back as far as like 16 to 18 to early 20s, like I think that works. I don't know. I'd be interested to hear what you think, but I think it works. I think it just makes sense. Even from the man's benefit, even from the man's side of things. I don't just mean for having, the trophy wife and the young, good-looking girl. It just makes more sense. You're going to get more respect because she's naturally going to respect you more because you do have more life experience than her. A woman can, of course, still respect a man her own age, and she absolutely should. But, it makes it easier for a woman to probably not take up the opportunity to emasculate a man as much when he's older. But that's just something that I've noticed. I don't know. I would be intrigued to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
Just like how when y'all were in y'all early 20s and you had options, you decided not to date men in your age range. I'm not saying whether it's right or it's wrong. I'm just showing y'all that the shit is coming full circle.
It's just the way it is. Women have a fundamental problem with reality. They can't accept it for what it is. And this is what it is. You think I like it? Like, no, of course I don't like it, but I accept it.
I say whatever the f*** I want. Who gonna pop me? Nobody.
You ain't nobody at home to pop. You single. You can say what you want and go home by yourself.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on this, guys. Do you think that there should be an age gap in relationships? What's your thought on the whole age gap thing? Women tend to hate them only when they're too old to benefit from them. And it's funny because women in their 40s, sometimes when they can't get guys their own age, they'll then go for the younger men that they didn't want when they were younger, and it's like a really whole weird thing. Tell me your crazy stories. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. As always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up on your way out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to keep up to date with all of my content. If you have a video for me to react to, you can send it over via my email or by joining the WhatsApp community. Links in the description. And as always, if you'd like to support the channel, you can do that by clicking the links below. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you very soon in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.